Let's start recording here. So welcome to our first video with 777 Triple Frost Heart Draft. If there's one thing drafting over this past weekend taught me, it's that the Sapphire Wild Transform deck is messed up. I think if I had to pick a lead for my favorite archetype leading into this set so far, I think that's the best one. And Whimsy Witch is one of the better uncommons in that archetype. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just snag the Whimsy Witch here as our first pick. The Vorpus here is like an okay rare. It's like very, very reasonable, kind of ahead of curve, but I think I'd rather try and push into the archetype that's the most reasonable, especially when we have a pretty critical card for it here in our first pack. So I'm gonna go ahead and draft this. Alright, in our next pack here, someone also took an uncommon out of this pack, so there's a Primordial Cockatrice here. There's nothing in this pack for the Transform archetype that I'm interested in picking up. Eldritch Bindings, like, kind of, but not really. I think I might actually pick this Cockatrice up. This card's just, like, very powerful. Like, Mind Rotting your opponent on 3 and limited is fine. And then, like, it's a 4-6 lethal in the mid to late game. So I think I'm going to pick that up. I've had some success with Blood Sapphire kind of mid-range control in this format as well. So I think I'm going to go ahead and draft that just in the case we want to pivot into that. This pack has Runic Decay and Eldritch Thunderbird, which are also very reasonable in that archetype, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the powerful rare. This is by no means a commitment to either direction. Whimsy Witch is also a fine 2-drop in the more controlling deck. Howdy hats. Good morning. What? Yes? No. I mean, it's going to go up on YouTube. Alright, so this pack, probably not going to be in the Transform archetype. We're kind of getting cut on that. There's nothing coming around at least. I think Deep Freeze is plenty reasonable. This could just be like a 1-cost, put a thing into their hand, and it's just like a 1-cost Evaporate. Evaporate's a pretty reasonable card in this format. The format feels like it's really pretty clunky in general, so like having a card that generates tempo is reasonable. Battle of Destiny is very, very good. Yes, Battle of Destiny is super powerful. Speaking of Battle of Destiny, right here. Troop you control deals damage equal to its power to opposing troop, then you get to Fate Weave. Rune Snatcher is actually pretty good. It grabs a rune and then puts it into your hand and then reverts it. Netherbloom also isn't terrible. 0/4, Rage 1, Deathcry. It transfers its power to something else. I kind of like the Rune Snatcher. The Rune Snatcher or the Netherbloom. I like that the Rune Snatcher kind of leaves us open to be in the Sapphire Wild Transform deck, and I think these are kind of close, so I'm going to go ahead and pick this one that leaves us a little bit more open, because if we start seeing Transform cards come around, we can move into that. Nothing particularly powerful here in Blood or Sapphire, and nothing for the Transform deck either, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and grab the Sapphire Ice here. The Ice are so fantastic, just in general, like they're good in Limited and they're good in Constructed. It's a slow shard that lets you Fate Weave when you play it out, so it kind of helps smooth out our draws a little bit. Yeah, they were actually dual lands that scry in Magic. They were in Theros block. Yep. Yep. Comcast just let me know that they're having an area-wide outage right now. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. The fact that Bluebell Dryad, this card still is really high pick priority in the transform deck, so I think I'm going to pick this up. This might mean that the archetype is still open for us. Also, like, we have Whimsy Witch, and we could pick up, like, a Runic Chrysalis later, perhaps, to enable a draw on this. I really like Runic Decay. It's one of my other favorite commons in this set, but I think the Bluebell Dryad, again, just leaving us open to push into the Transform archetype if it's available, because it's one of the more powerful archetypes. Like, it's also possible just, like, this first pack doesn't have a lot of good Transform cards in it. The Badger isn't a very fantastic card in the Transform archetype. Like, it's okay for applying pressure, but it's kind of mediocre otherwise. So I think I'm going to grab the Runeforge Rummager here. It's a card that leaves us a little bit more flexible. I like this card a lot, actually. It's a 2/1 that draws and discards when it comes into play. And this format's kind of lacking premium 2-drop. So, like, just putting power into play on turn 2 is very reasonable. Also helps smooth out our draw a little bit. It's possible that, like, the fact that this went late means that no one else is in the Transform archetype. There just weren't a lot of cards for it in this first pack. In my experience, like, I have trouble getting a lot of troops in this format, and, like, I keep ending up with, like, the Badger being the thing I want to transform, and the Badger isn't very good when I'm transforming it. It keeps the buff for just that turn, but then, like, it wears off and you have to retransform it again. I don't know, maybe I'm undervaluing it. I also, like, again, the fact that, like, we're not guaranteed to be in one archetype or another right now, so I kind of like picking this up I don't think the Badger is good enough to, like, grab that as opposed to passing up a playable card that's going to be playable in either of the two possible archetypes we could end up in this draft. If we're in the Sapphire Wild deck, like, already guaranteed, I think picking the Badger up over the Rummager is fine there, but I don't think the Badger is good enough that it's worth picking up if we might not play it. It's not a permanent buff if it gets reverted, and a lot of the transform effects revert the card after they transform. They only transform for a turn cycle. Yeah, that's been my experience too, Tom. Like, there's playable troops are kind of a premium. Nothing in this pack I'm super interested in taking. I guess this is okay. What are the blood gems? I'll grab Shard of Purpose. Again, I agree with you. It's probably fine. And if we were in that archetype, we'd probably play it. But we're not guaranteed in that archetype, so I don't think it's a good pickup there over the Rummager, which is a card that we're guaranteed playing regardless of which of the decks we end up in. So there's more to it whether or not this card is just like, which one is strictly better or worse. I don't know that Taint is main deckable in this format or not. Got like 7-ish playables here. One of the things that having a bunch of resources in these packs does is that it kind of stretches you on playables. In the previous draft formats, like, we always had plenty of playables. In this draft format, I kind of struggling to get enough, I feel like. The Blood Sapphire Mill deck is basically unplayable. You need a bunch of really good uncommons, and even then, if you don't have the right rares, it just doesn't work out. Your opponents could also just, like, board in 15 extra cards post-board and, like, make your deck really, really worse. Alright, that other bloom came back around. I think I'm okay with that. We're gonna have to get, like, a lot of transform cards in the next pack to not end up on Blood Sapphire here. Go and treat ourselves. This card's, like, not exciting, but it's fine if we're hurting for playables. I think Taint is definitely, you can board this in a few matchups, so Taint's better than the Jetpack Buddy. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that the Mill archetype is just, like, borderline unplayable. This card might be main deckable. There's a lot of things that interact with the Crypt in this format, it feels like, and just, like, the floor is a quick 2/2. A quick tap 2/2, I guess. Alright, end of the pack. Let's see what the next one brings. Gain control of target opposing card unless this controller buries the top half of their deck. I don't think that's good enough. This pack actually has a ton of good Sapphire cards in it. So all 4 of these Sapphire cards here are very reasonable. Runic Hatchling, I think, is going to be the card we take here. It creates a 2/2 flyer for 4, and then it has Runic, so the next time we draw a shard, we get to recast it. It's pretty close with Heart's Whisper. Honestly, Frostrock, Heart's Whisper, and Runic Hatchling are all very, very powerful cards. The Thunderbird's fine in the Blood Sapphire archetype that we're drafting. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this one wheels. Hopefully one of these 2 wheels back around to us, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take Hatching here. When I'm in the Blood Sapphire archetype, I think I want to value threats a little bit higher, because it's usually you have a hard time closing the game out. Speaking of threats, nothing else in this pack is particularly exciting. Man, that's a bomb. Fortunately, we are not in this archetype, but again, we're probably going to be hurting for playables. I think the pick here is the Cloud Skimmer or the Violence Attendant. Cloud Skimmer, we could put this gets +2 power when a troop enters the opponent's crypt. How many of your opponents boarded in 15 extra cards, Jot? Did any of them? Because if your opponents are boarding in extra cards like they're supposed to, you have a much harder time winning. I think I'm going to take the Cloud Skimmer just for curve purposes. 6 drops are kind of expensive. Call of the Week is actually super reasonable removal. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. Let's see if the Comcast is gonna work. Comcast? One person boarded in extra cards. Yep. I think if they're all boarding in extra cards, basically the problem with the mill deck is that your opponent can choose to have 25% more life for the post-board games, basically. Like, the resource you're trying to eliminate, they can just, like, board in 15 cards, usually. Hey, look, it's working. Alright, there's another Whimsy Witch, you know? 10 out of 10. This card is very good in the Fate Weave deck. The first deck I drafted was a Diamond Wild Fate Weave deck and had 2 Poppy Cake Peddlers, and man, let me tell you, this card messes people up. That being said, Whimsy Witch sounds great. It's a good aggressive 2-drop to let us pressure people, and we have Bluebell Dryad to curve it into, so if we go like Witch into Bluebell Dryad, it's a pretty reasonable curve. It's actually shaping up okay. Not super exciting, but fine. Yeah, I agree. Mill seems fine in Evo. Any games that are best 2 out of 3, though, the Mill deck is pretty unplayable, I think. Unless you have, like, the Librarian or something obnoxious. Nothing in here is super exciting. I guess Execute's fine, right? Yeah, it's quality removal. We're gonna go Puff for the champion. Maybe? I don't know. I kind of like the zombie champion in decks like this, just because like it creates an extra threat when you grind. I really don't love any of the Sapphire Blood champions, to be honest. Another Bluebell Dryad. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take that up. And honestly, maybe now that I have 2 Bluebell Dryads, especially if we find a third, like, that makes the Puff champion reasonable, because then we can transform these and draw cards. This is a witch. This is a 2-drop witch. It's the Whimsy Witch. It's not a fairy. Come on now. This is a fairy, though. Fae. Puff's fine. It's not exciting, but it's fine. Party Fungi is very good. I agree. Like I said, the Transform archetype is probably one of the best. Makes me so sad that this card is unplayable. Oh, a lot of the other Ires are really powerful, and that one's not good. Ooh, Blood Ice. Almost missed that one there for a second. 10 out of 10, we'll snap that up. Another Blood Ice. What's this do? On this attacks, you control the highest power. Type 5 price gets +2 power. That's probably really good, actually. I think I'm going to take this over the ice. The format kind of feels like it board stalls a lot, and that's a way to just kill people, especially if we have the highest power troop. Eldritch Thunderbird is very reasonable. Hey! This is our first pack that had the 4 good Sapphire cards in it. We said at least the Thunderbird would wheel, and it did. I always like being right about that kind of thing. Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be puffed out the way the deck is shaken up, or shaped out. Ring of the Blightbark. Yep, 10 out of 10 we'll draft the Millhate, because someone will be playing that at some point. Yeah, I agree, Bob. The format is super clunky, and like all of these are playable twos. And Treat Machine maybe isn't. In fact, if we have enough playables, we're not going to play the Treat Machine. There were two other good, there were 2 other good Sapphire cards in that pack. There was the Fateweave Draw 2 card and the Frost Rock. The 3/5 flyer with Brittle. So I'm not surprised that the Thunderbird came back around. I don't think I want a second call of the week. They can get a little clunky in multiples. Deadeye's probably fine. Another playable too. Wow, we actually have a plethora of playables in this deck. It's kind of surprising. No one must be in Ruby. Flamewick going that late's kind of surprising. This card's very reasonable. It's like borderline constructed playable, I think. Citizen makes Cull good. That's fair. I guess he's often bigger than other things. Or as big or bigger. I like boarding this card in against the Mildex too. You just like have a crypt full of goodies to get back with them. Yeah, I really like the art in this set is definitely fantastic. I agree with that. The fact that they get to choose with this is so annoying. Alright, I will take a Librarian in this third pack, please. Not asking for a lot here, Kismet, just a legendary. Damn. There's nothing very exciting in this pack, is there? And we kind of have a lot of playables, so I'm going to go ahead and take the utility shard, I think. Like, Nameless Citizen and Silk Shot are fine. But yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the resource here. I have not been in a position to draft the Constance Matters deck yet. Yeah, past a Frostlock. Yeah, I think the Thunderbird's just the pick here. Thunderbirds are go. That's kind of an evasive threat that's reasonable. I don't hate Call of the Grave either. I would like another Cannibalize or two in this pack. A couple more draw twos. The Cannibalize or the Fate Weave draw two would be nice. Kind of generate some velocity for ourselves. We actually don't have that many Runic cards either. Rune Snatcher's a little medium. Morning, Returning Dawn. Just rolled into afternoon here, actually. Weave into nothing. Am I in the market for that? I don't know how I feel about this card in Limited. I just want another Thunderbird. How many actions do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4... I don't actually have that many actions, so I feel like taking another Thunderbird is probably irresponsible. You must be new, Jet. Not have Tron on 3. I guess Blight Bestow is pretty good. Oh, that's true. I'm gonna grab that. Makes Cold a week better, too. It's an action that powers up the Thunderbirds. Makes the Thunderbirds go, go, go. I have 20 playables right now. How many fringe playables in here? Wow, this pack has a lot of goodies that we want. There's a Frost Rock, there's a Runic Chrysalis, there's a Thunderbird. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the Rock. This card's so good, you could Frost Form it for 3 to get a 3/1 flyer. I think that's better than the Thunderbird. I mean, hopefully one of these two birds were passing a wheel to us. Yeah, I think it's the Frost Rock. You guys like the Runic? It's just that good with the birds? I don't know. Rock is really powerful. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Rock. I think all 3 of those picks are close. This card's just like individually powerful, whereas the other 2 are kind of contextual based on your draw. Hey, look, there's another Chrysalis on the 10. Snake that up here. Makes the Bluebell Dryads a little better. Yeah, Rock is good with transforms. So you can play this as the Frost form and then like Chrysalis it and then turn it back into a 3/5 afterwards when it reverts. Yeah, 22 playables-ish now. Sweet, so we're looking for upgrades at this point. Yeah, we could probably play 17 resources in this deck. 10 out of 10 playing 17 resources in this deck as we add a 4th piece of Ice Baby. Bew-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ice Baby. Bew-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Bew-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh man, 10 out of 10 taking another. Gonna rock my world over this Sapphire Ice. 4 ice is plenty, and Rock's real good. Sweet, now we're looking for upgrades. What's the first upgrade in this deck? Probably like the Acolyte Azenthos, maybe the Rune Snatcher or the Netherbloom. I like having a lot of good 2s. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get any of the deal 2 gain 2 Runics. I like that card a lot. Oh, man. That's a hard choice. Wow. I thought other people were drafting Sapphire, but, like, these last couple of packs have told me that they are not. Runic Catching is really good, but, like, Bluebell Dryad draws cards, and I kind of like drawing cards. What do we think? Hatching or Dryad? My gut says Dryad because of curve purposes. I think the Hatching? Yeah, I guess we have 2 Thunderbirds. Hatching's really good with the Thunderbirds. Just, like, play the Skies deck. There isn't a ton of removal in this format. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1. Yeah, I agree. Thunderbird's probably pushed over. I'm gonna cut the Bloom, I think. Rune Snatcher's a little bit better with Runic Catchling, too. To the skies! To the skies! Poor Bluebell Dryad. She was so young, she just wanted to draw some more cards. Is Call the Grave playable? Probably. Might cut this Rune Snatcher. He's kind of mediocre. And board him in when he's useful. I like Call the Grave, rebuys the Thunderbirds. So when the Thunderbirds get go going. Yeah, I mean, like, we're not playing either of those cards. Probably fine to board in and get something really aggressive. Gonna be 9 Sapphire, 8 Blood. No resource base. And like our curve looks a little bit awkward, but if you recall here, these Frost Rocks have Frost form, so like these are really 3-drops here. So really our curve looks really nice when you take these 2 guys and slide them down this way a little bit. There might even be an argument for 10-7 on the resources. Like, the only double blood cards we have are these Call of the Weeks at the top end of the curve. And I want to, like, consistently get to my Runic Hatchlings and my Frost Rocks. Yeah, I think I'm going to go 10-7 on the resources. Yeah, let's do that. So 8 Sapphire, 5 Blood. Where's Puff the Magic Dragon at? Alright. Troop enters an opposing crypt. Get some power. I need more power! Tap the power into my veins. In my veins! Yeah, why wouldn't I want to play the Cockatrice? Bonus champion gives plus power for each troop in my crypt. Yep, Gur's really solid. Acolyte into Frostrock. Lead on Blood Ice for a non-resource. What's up, Jake? You wanna come say hi? Is it by Dad? How you doing? Say hi, Internet. My name is Jacob.
Oh no. Woo. Car.
Another Bluebell Dryad. Sign me up.
Car. Boo, 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 car. Beep, 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 beep.
Ooh, that's real good. My Bluebell Dryads here. Start by attacking for 1 here. That's unfortunate. Play this out. Seek adventure. Dude, you gotta leave that plugged in. Okay, let me ask your mom to send a show. Let's have Mill in it. So we're playing the berry duck? Dude, it's okay, buddy. Huh. So I'm gonna play this out. I'm gonna play this out. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do this. Mom's sending a show right now, buddy, okay? Dad's phone isn't on the Wi-Fi network, so he can't send a show. I know, it's tough. Execute is a fantastic draw because it kills this, which then triggers this. So then it makes this bigger too. So we're gonna hit them for 6 here. And then next turn we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. This will be 10, and then whatever this transforms into. Oh, they've got a Runic Decay, sure. That's pretty good. Oh, Call of the Week. The old full cost cult. We played Magic this morning, Johnny. We're doing mostly Hex these next couple weeks. I'll do some Magic here and there, but I have a Hex tournament coming up in this new format. So, archive from the stream for this morning will go up on YouTube after I'm done today. Food for thought for 8. Berries 8, gains 8. Alright, well, if they have another one of those, we could lose this game. Professor Yada with the 15-month resubscription. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Underrated, I think Runic Hatchling. I don't think anyone's rated anything in this format. Runic Hatchling is like one of the best cards in this limited format. The Modern deck was great. 10 out of 10 would play it again. I'm gonna be writing a primer about it this week for MTG Card Market. Modern in general is just like a giant shit shoot. So like, you know, it's an awful, miserable format. So like, the deck's interesting at least in it. Even if the format itself isn't very good. Alright, and again here, opponent's playing a mill deck, so I'm gonna go ahead and just like board in all of our playable cards. 17, so that's, I have 31 cards. Let's go ahead and just add 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 21 out of 52 is about 40%. Oh, the ring, yeah, good call. This is probably playable too. Is this playable? Sapphire or diamond card? Yeah, probably. Alright, keep. And just like my opponent's game plan is to try and mill us out, like. There's 55 cards. Oh, the 0-4. Yeah, it's probably fine. I agree. Probably should have brought that in. The cloud is so happy. Such a happy little cloud. Play Bluebell Dryad, I think, here. Could go Runeforge Remager into Moonlight Snack this. I hate that. And then next turn I could go Bluebell Dryad. I'm gonna bin the ice. The ice isn't even that good with all their... I'm just gonna do this now so I get in the extra point of damage. And then next turn I can go... Oh, actually, I'm gonna be able to puff this next turn, which will let me turn it back into a 4-2. Oh, wait, it doesn't transform it at Void. That's weird. I guess they didn't want you to be able to, like, reanimate things with that. I'm just gonna take 4 here and race, I think. Yep, and I will just happily mill 3 here. And like board in a bunch of extra cards, as you will. Oh geez, they could sack this and get the Cockatrice back? That's kind of scary. Yeah, that's true. Knock him down to 14 here. Cannibalize, sure, down to 12. I have 1-2 troops in my crypt right now. No blocks. That's annoying. It's a 3-3. Start by just attacking with this. You know, honestly, I think I'm supposed to go... They get my Cockatrice here. But they are. Yep. I'm gonna go Bleak Harvester into Whimsy Witch here. If they want to take my last 2 cards, they can. A lot of pressure on the table here. There might have been merit to playing the Cloud Skimmer out, because like this is probably going to trigger it. They might just like wait till they hit 7 to actually just play the Cockatrice too. Yeah, no blocks, man. Down to 11. That's pretty big. Deep Freeze, that's pretty good. Huh. Yep, pick this up. Attack you with everything. And play this Cloud Skimmer out post-combat. So... That's gross. So trade here, take 6, 10, 12. Well, we're dead. Until they had a thing that let them gain some life. They're killing that, sure. Alright. If they cockatoice me, they're still dead. There's only 7, sure. I feel like I'm supposed to be conservative and chump block here, right? Sure. Sure, dead on board. Got him. Alright, 1-0. We can pop the next one here. Ooh, one up on the ladder. Got some frosty hot packs. Sen seems like a pretty easy mulligan here. I think getting under, especially Papa Goot, you want to get under people in this format. And again, it's another mulligan. Just want to like play something relevant on the second turn of the game. I mean, the sand is the best of the 3 that we looked at. Not particularly exciting or aggressive like we were looking for, but, you know, is what it is. So Papa Goot, 17 health, 3 charges, creates a Daybreak, which gains them a life every turn. So probably the Constance Matters deck. Alright. Let's try and find some resources here. So 1/1 over a Constance you're playing to their control, they get +1/+1. Queue up another resource here. Probably play Bluebell Dryad next turn. Touch awkward that our first couple resources came into play. It didn't make a temporary, but it is what it is. Opponent's got a pretty aggressive start here. really want to block. I read that accurately. Maybe I'm supposed to play this out. Don't have a lot going on either, which is nice. Another hatching is decent. Let's do that. You know, honestly, I'm just going to transform this now as a defensive measure and draw a card. Ooh, that worked out well. Maybe the big problem with the Empress deck is that, like, it lost the Dreadlings gem on the Warp Steel Shards Sworn, which is going to, like, be a huge kick to it. That's annoying. Take 3 in the air now. I don't actually know what Rudebind does offhand. Just another hatching, I think, so that way we can have 2 flyers to block these Dorkos. I don't think I want to trade this for anything, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass. Plan to be like gum up the board until we can win in the air, probably. I guess we also have the Squirming Terror that can punch through once we gum things up. I don't actually know. Things like that are really format contextual. Like, if you're, especially the control decks, it's like, what do we want? What do we want this control deck to be doing is a real question. And it's like, well, what threats are people playing? Well, our answers need to line up with their threats. And if you don't know what answers people are playing, like, I would say is like, there's a reason we played the Diamond Sapphire deck at the second CCS of the season and not the first one. Oh, I guess losing my Bluebell means that I can't block this profitably. That might have been a mistake. I think I messed that up. Probably chumping with this turn. They attack with this. I'll put this here and I'm going to chump the 5-3 and see what we draw. I don't actually think that card is that good. Like, the fact that it's like a tempo card that they immediately gain all the lost tempo back as soon as they draw a resource makes it seem really mediocre. I'm just going to trade there. Fine. It's actually a pretty good draw. Means that we get to trade one of these Hailhawks with, we also trade Squishy, I guess. Yeah, it's like a really, really bad remand. That's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. Don't play your last card. Don't play your last card. Don't play your last card. Yeah, it's just cards like that, usually you don't want them to be able to regain, like, tempo cards, you don't want them to be able to regain the tempo that they lost for free. Otherwise, it just, like, defeats the purpose of, like, tempoing your opponent. This also makes Squishy here more power when he attacks. Oh, I'd like to target you, opponent. I would like you to discard some cards, please. Haha. It's a shame. So they're gaining 2 life a turn and we're losing a life every turn, so we do need to start pressuring them a little bit more. Yes, you can target yourself with Cockatrice. It's target champion. Ooh, Whimsy Witch. Alright, well, I think I'm going to attack with both of these, so we can go Rock Witch afterwards. Like I said, we do just need to kill them. Like, hitting them for one effectively every turn is not a winning proposition. And this is why the Cockatrice is good. Like, it's just a powerful card. Just like a 4/6 with lethal just like beats people down. Call of the week. Alright. Get rid of that one. I'm gonna leave Whimsy back because they might attack me with this, which means Whimsy gets a free shot in next turn. 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep. Very good. Sweet. Got him. I don't think we want to change anything. Hope everyone's having a good 4th of July. Happy Tuesday to everyone everywhere else in the world. Thanks for stopping by. We're drafting some Frostheart here today. Currently 1-0 in this draft and up a game in the second match. A little Blood Sapphire mid-range Axeruni. This hand's very good. To curve Squirming into Thunderbird. Get an aggressive start here on the play. Vesper on 1 is real good. To go Bird into Squirm into Hatchling, unless we draw something else that's better. Oh no, don't play a constant. Alright, well, I got that going for us. They're gonna have 2/2s next turn. I guess this is a... Oh, it's only a 1/2. Let's use their champion, which makes their guys larger. Down to 18. Alright, no play is great for us. Bluebell Dryad is a reasonable draw. Honestly, next turn we're probably just going to go Runic Hatchling into Champ Power the Bird draw card, so we get to play some defense here and cantrip this right away. Using our Champion Power defensively is kind of nice. If we have Blood, we might also just call the weak one of these. It's a decent draw. Yeah, actually, oh, geez. Yeah, so now I'm going to do that. I'm going to attack with this. And this is quick, so when my opponent attacks next turn, I'm going to Runic Chrysalis this, and this will draw a card, and then we'll eat one and trade with the other. I could have removal to mess this up, I suppose. They did not, so blocks. Take all their pressure off the table. Okay, trading here, I think. Can't execute that. It's a little bit too large. Yep. Alright, if we get a Blood, we can cull it next turn. We're taking a lot of damage pretty quickly here. God, hitting Blood would actually be really good, because we'd put, what, 2 more Hailhawk? Or we'd have a... This is a Chrysalis, actually. Mana blocks... Getting this low against the Nightfall deck is a little scary. Probably need to start jumping this next turn. Balance the scales, yep. we get a non-blood resource, we'll execute this and play this. Yeah, Deadeye's a decent draw for sure. They can put another Daybreak into play, which makes their Vesper slightly larger. Oh, that's gross. Wait. They missequenced here, right? Oh, I guess it's the same because when it comes in... Alright, so if I draw a resource next turn, I get to Chrysalis this, which would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm just supposed to take 4 here, and then... Wait, they're just dead, right? Because I can execute this if they don't have a troop here. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they're actually just dead if they don't have another way to interact with the board here. I have the hero power too. Yeah, good call. Actually, yeah, they're just dead to the hero power on board right now. This is 3, 4, 5, and then 4 is 9, so they're dead on board. Still dead on board. Okay, sweet. Do the resource for the Rubbins. Okay. 2-0. See if we can get the 3-0 to close out the stream. It'd be sweet. This is going to be our last match if it pops for us. I'll be back tomorrow at some point with some more Hex TCG action. All the Frostheart we can stomach. G-Cat Innocent Smith! Just bought Burgle Dirtle and Hex. Loads of fun. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. That's one of the decks I'm looking forward to updating. There's a lot of different directions that deck can go. We've got Guidances. We've got Fate Weave draw spells. We've got slightly different jumps for the Dark Hearts. Chrysalis reverts. They all revert afterwards. That's how they stop being the butterfly. Control beers to decking myself, right? You have you can put another Lurgoyle on the board. Lurgoyle is real good at not decking yourself. It's definitely like the anti-deck yourself technology. It's one of the reasons we had one on the board. Oh, is that true? Does this... Oh, yeah, you're right, aren't you? No, this says revert and transform too. And this also says revert and transform. Yeah, okay. No, I'm not crazy, they're the same. They're actually identical. Revert and transform target troop you control into a Merry Butterfly. Revert and transform target troop you control into a Merry Butterfly. I'm not crazy. Y'all making me think I'm crazy. Sometimes the 2-0 matches take a little while to find, because it pairs you against someone else who is also 2-0. We'll give it 3 minutes, I think. Thanks everyone for hanging out here today. Remember, if you need to get some singles from Frostheart, consider using hexprimal.com. They would love to sell you some Hex TCG cards. Use code Jeff5 at checkout there. You can save 5% on your order for also supporting my content here. I'd like to give a special thank you to all of the subscribers that came back again and again and again. I appreciate it, especially all those Sapphire Shards. Been here for a year or more. So y'all enable me to do what I do here, and I'm happy to be hexing again. We had a little bit of lull at the end of the last set, but we are going to hit the ground running here as we master this draft format and look to find a constructed deck that I want to play at the CCS. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Anyone found constructed decks that they're really liking in this format yet? Things I should try out? I think I really like triple of the same set draft formats better than the 2 and the 2-1, I think. I really like knowing that, like, if I'm drafting an archetype, I have 3 packs to get the important uncommons that I need to make that archetype flow. Feels good. Hailstorm Fateweave. Yep, I've Sapphire Wild is on my list. Yeah, the Thunderfield Seer, Thunderfield Elder 8 Prophecy card sounds great too. I agree with that. No! Alright, we'll give you to 1 o'clock, opponents. Everyone's watching the stream and they're like, I'm not queuing in with my 2-0 draft deck. The Blood Escalate card is quick too, right? Are they all quick? The other ones aren't particularly playable, so I guess I didn't take note of whether or not they're quick. The other ones are just a little bit medium minus. Alrighty. I think we're going to go ahead and call it an afternoon. I've got to get some stuff done around the house here before we have people over this evening. Happy 4th to everyone, all around the world, especially the folks in the U.S. where it's a holiday for us here. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, probably about noon-ish, when Declan goes down from his nap with more Hex TCG goodness. Remember to follow on Twitch and Twitter for notifications on when I'm going live and with what. Peace, folks.